So let me begin with the break session. A young woman and a young man, they are in love. And today, while introducing, one of the anchors said that meeting is the beginning. Meeting is the beginning. Then what is the progress? Second paragraph. Meeting is the beginning. Working together is progress. Meeting is the beginning. Second paragraph. Yours, yeah, right. Yes. Coming together is the beginning, then meeting. Keeping together is the progress, and after that, parting. After that, parting also is there. If meeting is there, parting also is there. That is part of the universal law, right? A young woman and a young man meet, and for the time being, they are going to part with one another. Now listen to me. Have you heard this dialogue earlier? Check. I'll reproduce the dialogue. Okay, let me take leave of you. Let me leave you, or let me take leave of you. The young man asks. No, first the young girl says. The young man asks, when are we going to meet next? The girl says, as and when you decide. Even in a deserted, lonely place, we'll meet. You please decide. Have you heard this dialogue earlier? Anyone, please raise your hand. Have you heard this dialogue earlier? No. Sure? A parting dialogue. Let me leave you. Okay, when are we going to meet next? As and when you decide, even in a deserted place, alone. You haven't heard this dialogue? I thought you would have heard. Doesn't matter. Let me try the second one. Let me try another dialogue. Or is it a dialogue? Yes, it's a dialogue, but I'll reproduce only the first part. So monologue. Listen. Dr. Shalini and Dr. Deepa, both of you told in their speech that skills, listening skills, speaking skills, then come reading and writing. The first primary skill is listening. And you are listening to a little English. I am not speaking Hindi. Okay? A little English. And this is very simple English with which you can manage anywhere in the world. My English is very simple. And this simple English is enough for us to manage anywhere in the world. No need of, you can have greater and bigger and English for various other technological purposes and all those things. But for existing, this humble English of mine is enough. So the second, I never was a poet. But your smile made me, on seeing you, I became a poet. I was never a poet, but your smile, on seeing you, I became a poet.
Check.
Anyone? Have you heard this? Sorry? I asked you, have you heard these dialogues or not? I didn't mention any language. In the beginning, I told you what is essential for communication. Do you need a language? No. What is essential? Two true loving minds. Nothing else. Whether Hindi or Sanskrit or English or Malayalam, it doesn't matter. Have you heard? Okay, then reproduce it in the way you heard. You reproduce it as you heard it. Anyone? See, opportunity knocks only once on your door. Opportunity knocks only once on your door, and if you are late to open your door, opportunity goes and knocks on the other door. Imagine you are in the hostel, and there are so many rooms in the hostel, and somebody wants to give you something, some gift or something, and he comes and knocks on your door. You are in a lazy mood. Some bloody rascal, that man is disturbing me. I told you so many times that don't wake me up. And again, somehow you open the door. That fellow with that gift has gone and knocked on another door and another door. The person who opened the door immediately got the gift, and opportunity knocks only once on your door. Later, when somebody says that answer, this is the thing that should never happen in your life. This thing shouldn't happen. You should grab the opportunity. That's why come on. Your opportunity, she's ready. Yes, she's ready to grab it. I'll give her another opportunity. That is my version. Did you hear that way or some other way? What's it? Listen. Repeat. This is not an English class. Don't worry about any formalities. You are young.
मगर है हंसी जब से देखा मैंने तुझको मुझको शायरी आ गई.
Thank you. Now the first one, please. Just once or two. Yeah. That type of behavior is left to the school children there. You are adults that way. Okay. Now the first one. Come back to the first one. Try to recall. I am checking your listening. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Everyone sings. Yeah.
अच्छा तो हम चलते हैं, फिर कब मिलोगे, वहीं जहाँ कोई आता जाता नहीं.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Third one. That is, now you are checking with your listening to me with your previous language. It is listening. Because you have to get the message from my English words. Then you have to compare it with your Hindi version. Now, the other celebrated line. Right in front of my window, I see a small piece of crescent. Right in front of my window, I see a small piece of crescent, moon. Come on.
It's an old song, old Hindi song.
Come on.
मेरे सामने वाली खिड़की में एक चांद का टुकड़ा रहता है.
Fine. Come on, thank you. Let us function in language.
कब मिलोगे जब तुम कहोगे जुमेरात को, हाँ आधी रात को. कहाँ? वहीं जहाँ कोई आता जाता नहीं. वहीं जहाँ कोई आता जाता नहीं.
Later you have to translate the way I did. Not today. Later, select your favorite songs from Hindi or any other language and try to translate. And that will be a quiz program. Two of you together can form a team. Should be very popular, number one. Number two, should be presentable in a class. Because after all, this is a class, an institution. It has there may be certain vulgar songs which cannot be presented in a class. You are adults, you know. Your teachers are here with us. There are rules and regulations for an institution. Okay, I heard these songs when 60 years ago. The moment it became popular in Mumbai, it was in Mumbai, the whole headquarters. The moment it was released in Mumbai and elsewhere, things reached Kerala in remote villages wherever transistors were there. Wherever transistors were there means only very few homes had transistors. But the songs were popular in Kerala as they were popular in Mumbai and the rest of North India. That's why I chose all these lines. Okay, now the next one. Now work together and, okay, listen to me. You stole away my heart and changed my life. Now please don't change or take away your eyes from me. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Which word? Which word? Come on, please. Come on. This is not a class. This is a different. These 8 days you are going to have an entirely different.
चुरा के दिल मेरा गोरी चल.
Wait.
Sir, can you repeat it once again?
Yeah. I'll repeat. You stole away my heart and changed my life. चुरा लिया
तुमने जो दिल को नजर नहीं चुराना सनम.
Okay. Next one. Just check because finally I will ask you how you got that clue. One word or two words or one phrase. My message is that we don't need a whole language to communicate. In a new language, we need only the key phrase. If I want to eat something, I need only one phrase, hungry or hunger. Enough. I get a square meal. One word. I need not go for the subject, verb, agreement, singular, plural, adjective, nothing. I feel, or I feels, or I feel, nothing. Hungry. Enough. The meal comes. This is the thing. Later, at this point, you have this basic English. Yesterday, while taking me from the airport to the guest house, the driver, Mr. Ravi, we have been talking for about 10 minutes or so. After 10 minutes, he said, "Sir, my English is very poor." I said, "Ravi, don't say it to me, because for the last 10 minutes we have been talking English." He was managing with English. I too was managing with English. Then how do you say that your English is poor? I understood what he said. He understood what I said. We are talking about, the cleanest city and the rain and everything. And so, your English also is okay. Why I use this one is, all of you are going abroad. Most of them may not be English-speaking nations as well. China is the first option for most of you. In China, it will be very difficult to manage with English. Maybe by the time you go in another 10 years or so, English may be a little popular. Still, Japan, the next option. Very difficult to manage with English. Germany, the third one. no English at all. Even in France, not very comfortable, say, if you have only English. So there you are going to have another strange language. There this may work. One or two words in that language, one or two small phrases in that language, plus body language, plus intonation pattern, the voice modulation. By the voice modulation, that person knows whether it's a request or a question or a command, or of course you won't command, something like that. So this is not for English. This is for you to learn German, to learn Japanese, to learn Chinese, Sinhalese, anything else. Your English is okay, perfect, no problem. Next one, just listen. Bees are humming and flowers are blooming. Flowers of buds are blooming. Come on, come on. Fine. You can listen to these things. Yes? Now check. What happened to your words, promises? Which word will you identify as the clue word? Promises. Promises. Kya hua? Vada. That vada, promise, is. I got Hindi like all Kerala children got it in class 5. Hindi is a compulsory language in Kerala. Malayalam is not. Malayalam is not a compulsory language. Hindi is compulsory. English is compulsory. English is from class 1. Hindi is from class 5. Whereas Malayalam, not compulsory. Okay. So, think of the basics. Try to communicate. And as I told you earlier, never worry about mistakes while communicating. In your physics class or say BBA or BCom, also I don't know what it is. Even there, I used to tell your teachers, because I am a teacher trainer basically, I teach teachers of all levels from LKG to teachers of universities. My piece of advice to all the teachers is that mistakes are part of learning. If you don't make mistakes, you never learn. Just one informal query. Is there anyone who doesn't know cycling? Anyone here who doesn't know cycling? Cycling? I'm sure almost all of you. Maybe one or two perhaps. And years ago, how did your knees look like? Years ago, how did your knees look like while you were in school? And when you were learning, say, pedaling, cycling? Now it may be really beautiful, but at that time, when you were 8 or 9 or 10 or 12, a lot of scars. A lot of scars and marks. This gentleman's knees don't have any scars. No scars on my knees. Why? 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 You tell me why? I have no scars on my knees. Most of you had. At present there may be, Why? My parents did not allow me to learn cycling. Those days, smoking, playing cards, cycling, they were considered to be very bad habits. You made mistakes while cycling. Is there anyone who learned cycling without, say, falling off the cycle, or say, is it possible? Falling off the cycle is the first lesson in cycling. I didn't fall off the cycle, therefore I didn't learn. Later, I bought a bike, gave it to my son. Still later, when I had little more money, I bought a car, but I didn't have the guts to get onto a road. I had road fear. If I went on a bicycle on the road, I won't have the road fear. Later, I could easily ride the scooter or say bike which I bought later. I was suffering from road fear. I bought even a good car at that time. But still I had the road fear. That too I gave it to my son. I still travel by private bus at this old age, and occasionally when I have a lot of luggage, I may travel by an auto rickshaw or maybe a cab. I didn't make mistakes when I was at school in the field of cycling. If I made mistakes, now I would be comfortably driving my own car. Mistakes are an essential part of learning. Never worry about making mistakes on any platforms. Not only language, be it computer science or your commerce or BBA. I told you, opportunity knocks only once on your door. Jump and say whatever you need to say. Otherwise, somebody else may be stealing your answer. And then, that shouldn't happen. If so many times this happens, life becomes a failure. Life becomes a failure. I am putting it in the simplest version. Dr. Deepa or say somebody else may put it as a philosopher's word. American philosopher Emerson said this: go by your intuition, don't wait for tuition. Something inside you tells, yeah, it could be the answer. Tell that answer. Don't worry whether the girls will be laughing or whether the boys will be laughing. Let them laugh and laugh. Don't worry. Answer whatever you. Yes, with this, we'll have a small interactive session. You may get a small, say, before that, a guesswork. Can you guess? Can you guess what I was doing yesterday at this time? Just think. A clue is there. Yesterday at this time, just imagine, because it's not possible for you to arrive at the right fact. It's a fact. Just imagine what I was doing at this time, around say 12:30 yesterday. Think of a few things. Okay? Now, a clue. A clue. You think of it and tell me. The right fact, it's not answer, the right fact may get a 100 rupee prize. Come on.
Planning for this session.
Planning?
Planning.
Planning to?
For this session.
I had nothing to plan.
You are doing plantation.
To come and interact with the students, and even if it is for say college or university teachers, I have nothing to plan. Packing. Sorry. Plan. Plantation. Plantation is the word. Of course, it is related to plant, but plantation means the collection of trees. Yeah, planting. Plantation is a rubber plantation, a coffee plantation, etc. Planting. Give a big hand. 100 rupees. I promise means I'll give it, but not in rupees. It will be coming in some other forms. What could be the form of that prize? In what form would you like to have that prize? Pardon? Think of it. By opening her mouth, she won 100 rupees.
Sir,
But I am not going to give, say, 100 rupee notes. It's not possible and it should be done.
sir, books.
Sorry?
Books.
Exactly. Your name, please?
Sir, Revati.
Sorry?
Revati.
Okay. She is going to have a book worth 100 rupees. And similarly, whenever a prize is offered, try to grab it. On the last day, the prize will be distributed by the HOD in the presence of all the faculty members. You can accumulate 100 plus 20 rupees plus 10 rupees or even 5 rupees may be there. Together, it may be 325 rupees. So 350 rupees may be coming to you. Okay? Now, come. Please go and say, come on. Go and distribute. One each. Based on that topic, you can ask a question to me. You can work in pairs. May not be enough for all. Work in pairs. Please go to the back row, please. Two of you work together and based on that topic, you ask a question to me. It's all personal. Only about me. It is personal, then another thing is coming, we say not personal. Ask 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 questions based on that one. Please ask me the details.
How many members do you have?
Yes, my wife retired as a principal of a government senior secondary school, and she used to write and publish in Malayalam. Her subject is Malayalam, and she used to broadcast poetry in All India Radio. Some 15 or 20 years ago, both of us were in Bhopal, All India Radio, for a national poetry recital session. She represented Malayalam poetry, and on Republic Day, all languages, say poetry from all languages will be read out and on radio. So this is my second visit to Madhya Pradesh. Yes, family means wife is over. Next question, please. Yeah, again, in English, usually the word family means spouse and children. Spouse and children. That means wife or husband plus children. When you talk about your family, in English, it is not acceptable. In English, you should say about your parents, not family. I talk about my family. You talk about your parents and siblings. Parents and siblings. That is the English way, but in India, it is acceptable for you to speak of family. There are certain words like that. For example, night. The word night, though we use very freely as a substitute to Rats. In English, you are not expected to use that word night. Be very careful. You may be working with the colleagues from Canada, America, Britain, Australia, etc. You must be very careful with that word. You are youngsters. I'll tell you. Just imagine this situation. I'm not teaching any grammar or like that, but certain useful things. Working in an IT company or somewhere else. You work till 5 o'clock but there is a deadline to finish the project by tomorrow, etc. And you have decided to work overtime. So you are going to take a break for 1 hour to go back to a room and say, get fresh, or say, have a cup of tea and come back. And you tell the girl from Canada, please, you remember what happened in the morning? That's why I left. I know all these things, but I won't take that. I told you, say, this is the almost 56th year. Everything in the room, I have the camera here, but I'll face it in a smiling way. So what was it? So, I completely got lost. Doesn't matter. I'll come back to something else. Yesterday, at this time, I was planting a banana tree. A small banana sapling, not very small, slightly grown up banana sapling. Digging and say replanting, etc. Packing, I didn't have much to do since I am a regular traveler. In 5 minutes, I can pack whatever is needed for 1 month. Dress and say everything, doesn't matter. Planning, I told you, I have nothing to plan. I can straight away come to any class and interact, because I am not going to teach you any theory or anything like that, just to interact in English. So, basically, I am a farmer and I like farming. We belong to farming communities. All members in our family like farming and gardening and all those things. So, when I got this memento, I was really surprised. Had it been something else, I'll have to think twice. Okay, next question, please. Come on. What? A little. Present income. Do you have any relatives in the income tax? You won't tell anybody? Okay. You won't tell anybody? Okay. It's a question. Because many of you may be thinking of not opting for teaching job. That is the last option for many of you. Okay, whatever subject you are doing, I don't know. Say, most of you will be thinking of teaching as the last option. But my dear young friends, those are of gone days. Now teaching is a job which fetches you 1.5 lakh a month. Get shocked? Got shocked? Do you ever know? The last salary I drew from the Central University was 1.5 lakh monthly. I deliberately mentioned that, otherwise I shouldn't, because most of you think that it is not a job which is worth making, say, riches. And the number of hours I had to work, compare that one. The number of hours, weekly hours I had to work was 3 hours a week. Going to MA class and teaching a little linguistics. But please remember, I got 12 hours from the HOD after fighting. HOD said, "Sir, you are the senior most person. You please take rest. You do research and all those things. Teach only 3 hours. I said, no. I am heavily paid and I must get minimum 15 hours because back in Kerala I was teaching 15 hours. From there I moved to Pondicherry Central University. They didn't give me 6 hours. I had to fight. Finally, I got 12 hours. I asked for 15 hours. I taught all students of all disciplines. So this morning, Dr. Shalini gave me the list of the schools and departments here, including fashion technology, say commerce, BBA, BCA, physics, chemistry, Hindi, everything. I taught all these students during my college and university days. Plus, my dear, plus, my textbooks are published and used in many universities in India. That income also comes to me. Now the other side, the retirement age was 65 in a central university. I was permitted to continue till 70 because mine is a rare subject, English language teaching. The Vice Chancellor could give me every year extension to me till the age of 70. But I didn't want it because some young man or young woman should get that job. I left at the age of 65. I went to a deemed to be university, worked there as a part-time teacher with the same salary. They gave me the same salary. I tell you, the future is, that is, if you have merit, jobs are waiting for you, money is waiting for you, everything is waiting for you. At the deemed to be university like this, private university, after interviewing me and looking at the publication, CV and all those things, they asked me finally the question, how much do you expect as a monthly salary? I said, this was the first time I am facing this question because I had been in the government service. In the government service, nobody asks, how much do you need? Everything is prefixed. Sir, you please decide and give me whatever you want. They fixed the same salary which I drew last. I said, sir, I am living in Pondicherry. This is in Chennai. I did a small accommodation on the campus, a hostel room, please. Immediately, the chancellor asked, why hostel? Stay in the guest house. On the third day, I went to see the guest house, fully furnished, AC, with an English newspaper, a Malayalam newspaper, everything. No rent, nothing. Your CV matters. They need my CV there. When inspection teams come from Delhi and other places, they need my CV as a faculty member. I had no work except PhD guiding and say going round and round, nothing else. Work and struggle hard when you are young. That I did. Old age, relax. Money will come. Do you see any anxiety or worry or any sadness or unhappiness on my face at this age? Because I struggled and struggled and struggled when I was young. Didn't sleep, mostly. By midnight, I used to get up and start working. Back at school, no electricity, with a kerosene lamp. That's the message. Right now, if you enjoy life too much, later you will be still looking for a comfortable job, a comfortable place, a comfortable income, etc. But at this age, if you impose self-discipline and self-struggle and self-pain, at my age, money will come in the form of pension, money will come in the form of salary or royalty or so many invited lectures, etc. Now the other side, since you asked me a question, you are listening to English. Do you have any problem in listening to this English? Do you have any problem in English? With this English, you can manage in New York, Canada. Yes. Now I work. Why I left the university job is that for the last 20 years, I had been working for the poor people, especially for the tribals, slum dwellers. We have a small organization. I'll give you the details later. The money which I get from the universities as salary and the government of Kerala as pension, I spend part of it for educating the rural children, their mothers. Right now, I am running 5 programs for village mothers in various parts of Kerala. By educating the mothers in turn will educate the children. This is the new experiment I am doing. When I go to tribal places, I have to carry a few packets of biscuits. Only then children will come. If the people invite children there, come on, we have English classes, nobody will come. If there is egg puff or cutlet or a little biryani, definitely children will come. Because hunger first. So from this money, I have to spend a little on refreshment or food or anything, plus photocopy material, etc. So spending also is there. And you must. If you get 10 rupees, 2 rupees is for others. The Sanskrit word dana, the meaning is not to give. Most of you have mistaken the word dan or dana means to give. No. The real meaning of that word is like this. A hungry man gets food from somewhere. He looks around. He sees a more hungry person elsewhere and he pushes that plate of food to that person. A hungry man pushes the food of a plate of food to a more hungry person. That is the real meaning of the. This word is there in one of the Upanishads. Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad. In Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad, the give. This give doesn't mean you give 10 rupees to a beggar or you put 10 rupees in front of a church or say temple. Or these 10 rupees or 100 rupees don't reach God. They never reached God. But the biscuit you gave to a stray dog reached God. The small book you bought for a village child, a poor child, especially a girl child. We focus on girl children. That reaches God. These are the messages. A poem in English. The moment you listen to the word poem, you get a little allergic because none of you doesn't like poem. Okay, a very simple poem. Some of you might have done it in your school classes. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. Abu ben Adam had a dream. Abu ben Adam is an orphan, a boy, a young man who has no relatives, nobody, but he runs around the village and does help to all others in the village. Whatever may be running for medicine and everything. And one night, the word night, I'll come back. Yeah, this is correction. I'll please remind me again. One evening, Abu and Adam, quite tired, fell asleep. And the poem says, it's an old poem. An angel appeared to him. The angel had a long list of names and Abu asked, "Oh, great angel, what do you have?" Abu, this is the list of people who love God. The list of people who love God. Oh, good angel, is there my name on the list? Is there my name on the list? Let me check. The angel scrolled. Sorry, Abu. Sorry, Abu. Your name doesn't figure in the list. Doesn't matter. He was very tired. He turned the other way and slept. The next morning, as usual, he got up. He went out running, helping people, and from somewhere he got, say, food like that. That evening also, he went to bed, fast asleep. Again, the same angel appeared with a list. This time also, Abu asked, "Oh, great angel, what do you have with you?" This is the list of whom God loves. This is the list of who God loves. Abu had no interest because he knows that his name won't be in the list. But the angel said, "Abu, your name tops in the list. Your name tops in the list of who God loves." Yesterday's list was those who love God. Abu didn't have the time to go to mosque or church or temple. From early morning till late evening, he was running, helping the villagers in so many things. And he never had even time for praying, no prayers. Then how can his list be there? So he was not. But his name topped the list of those God loves. You are young. You are young. Take this message. Not in this way, but some other way. Yes, I think. Is it time for stop? What time? Night. The word night. Yeah, the word night. Yeah, thank you. Working in a team with a British girl, two with you, young men, and say, one of you, young men, says that, okay, we'll meet at night. We'll have a break and we will meet at night. This is an insult. To the British girl, this is an insult. The young man should say only what? We'll meet in the evening. We'll meet late in the evening. 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, up to 11 o'clock, it is evening. So if you ask me, sir, when did you reach? My reply is, I reached a little late, say last evening. I reached here at 11 o'clock or 11:30. Even 11 and 11:30 in English is evening, not night. Even 11, 11:30 for our night, the word in English is evening. Yes, come on. Some other questions, please. This will continue. This interaction will continue. You will be asking questions and then, yeah. Come, yeah, here, please. Yeah. I have a little problem with my hearing. I started using a hearing aid, but it was creating a lot of discomfort. That's like, yeah. Come on, a little louder, please.
What is your favorite food?
Favorite book? Favorite food? Food. I thought it was book. So I was thinking of answering the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita like that. Okay. Food means, it can be answered in two ways. I am not very particular about food. That's one thing. Anything goes with me. Anything goes with me. I am not very particular about food. And not very particular likes or dislikes about food. I can have anything. No problem. Yes, please come on. Yeah. No, you. Yeah, yes. Sorry. You asked the full questions. Likes and dislikes. I like you very much. Present liking. And disliking was something which I liked long ago. Disliking was something that I liked long ago. Now I dislike it. Punishing students. Punishing students. Long ago, 50 years ago, I thought that was right. Students must be punished in the class for making some nuisance or nonsense. These days, I don't like it. Whoever make any problem, I wouldn't punish. I learned from my own mistakes. Students will create problems. Later they will change. Yes. Someone? Yeah. Yeah, please.
Namaste, sir. My
Sit
name
up,
is
sit up,
Priya
sit,
Rawal.
sit, sit up. Never get up. Yeah.
My name is Priya Rawal. My topic is health. Sir, how you deal with your mental health when you get stressful situations and disappointments and rejection in your life?
Stress, disappointment, and what else?
Rejections.
Rejection. Okay. I don't know how I manage. Naturally, it happens because I didn't do any special course in psychology or anything like that. The difference between my generation and your generation is that we learned from our life. You are learning for your life. That's the difference. We learn from our life. You are learning things for your life. You are learning things from laptop and books and libraries and other papers for your life. We learn things from our life. For us, the source is life. For you, the destination is life. This is the difference between the present two generations. I too have your generation at home. I too have a son and a daughter and son-in-law and daughter-in-law. They are also learning things from books and online. But going to a grocery shop and buying 12 things, rice and sugar and maybe like that, 12 items, I'll fumble in my pocket and take a 500 rupee note and a 100 rupee note, 600 rupees. Okay? I ordered 3 kilos of rice, 1 kilo of sugar, 100 grams of turmeric powder, 100 grams of coffee powder, etc. Right? 12 items, and after the 12th item, I'll be fumbling in my pocket and taking one 500 rupee note and another 100 rupee note. Total 600. The young man or young woman at the counter will be, sir, 564. After 2 minutes, the calculator says 564. By the time, I knew it was between 500 and 600. I had with me 600 rupees. Learning from life and learning for life. Two generations. How to manage stress, sharing. If you have people to share your feelings and emotions and fears and anxieties and worries and stress, it will be melted down. If you prefer to be alone, the whole stress will be getting accumulated, simple interest, compound interest, multi-compound interest. That ruins you. I have 1,000 people to share my grief and sorrows, and I have very well-built family relations. Anyone and everyone will be ready to help me, since I am also there to help them. 2 marriages in my family, my daughters and my sons. I didn't know anything. My brothers and sisters did the whole thing, inviting and feeding about 3,000 people in a village. 3,000 people were fed. In the end, I have to give this cash bag. That's all. People are there to work for me, take care of me. Therefore, no stress. No stress. Do you see the stress on my face? Relation. Relation. If you have one more person to, please. If you are one more person, please. What is the most powerful word in English? A set of powerful words in English? Number one, please. The most powerful word in English is please. Don't think that it's a request. Don't think that's a request. The commander of the army in Britain will be coming to the dais tomorrow, almost sure that there is going to be a war with some nation. Okay, some nation. But the commander-in-chief of the army of the US or UK will be addressing the 1 lakh soldiers. Dear friends, please get ready for any eventuality. The commander-in-chief's speech begins with please. Is it a request? Is it begging? If somebody is not present at that particular post tomorrow at 9 o'clock, that is the meaning of that please. So please is the highest form of command. Please is what I use with my 2.5-year-old grandson. Now he too started using please. Achacha, please. Achacha is grandfather in Malayalam. Acha is father. Achacha, grandfather. Achacha, please. He wants my pet, please. So I used please to him. Now he is reusing it to me, please. So please is the most powerful word in English. Number two. Thank you. On the public transport in US or say Singapore or say anywhere, earlier, now it is all say computerized, earlier, the moment you are given a ticket and the moment you give say the money, $1 or what may be, Q, thank you. Thank you is all pervading in English speaking communities. That means the more you use these words, you are using real English. And the third one, maybe more powerful than thank you, sorry. If you use the word sorry 100 times a day, you are a great person. You are a social person. And you must be using sorry to anyone. The maidservant who brought me a cup of tea, she deserves a thanks. I shouldn't mind she knows English or not. This morning, I said at least 20 thanks at the guest house to the simple women who took care of my breakfast and Betty and all those things. I said thanks to them. I should. They deserve it. So thank you. Sorry. Sorry. How many times do you utter that word? Your greatness is in that word. Sorry can be used to anybody and must be used on certain occasions. Number one, please. Number two, sorry. Number three, thank you. Number four, excuse me. Of course, that's a social etiquette. The number of times you use these words, you are approximating to English language. It is not the long words that you are expected to use. No need of long words. In India, we have certain, say, fantasies with long words. Bill Gates, right in the middle of say New York, told his friends, "Look, Jim, that is the new house I bought. Bill Gates is one of the richest persons in the world. Bill Gates told his friend, Jim, that is the new house I bought last month. In India, here I have a canvas bag or some other bag. What will be my friends asking? Sir, this bag, look, imagine it's a leather bag or a canvas bag, something like that. Sir, where did you purchase it? This is only 200 rupees. This is only 200 rupees or 150. But Indian English, sir, where did you purchase it? We won't say, sir, where did you buy it? What did Bill Gates say? This is the house that I bought last week, not purchased. Bill Gates will not use the word purchase. He will use it only in the documents. Okay? While registering something, so and so purchased something. Purchase is a written English word. You buy an industry. You buy an airlines. Indigo bought some other airlines, not purchased. Go for the simplest word. The simplest word is the simplest English. Simplest English is the great English. So it is not the length of the word, the meaning. Someone comes and asks, sir, yes, come on. Anything to ask me? Yes, sir. It is regarding the. The moment you use the word regarding, please remember, it is not English. Why are you in front of me at the table? I am your teacher. I am sitting in the cabin. Sir, it's about yesterday's assignment. Sir, it is about. The word you have to use is, sir, it is about yesterday's assignment, not it is regarding yesterday's assignment. Regarding is wrong in that context because I am a teacher, you are my student. The simple word is about, not regarding. Regarding is where the HOD goes to the director or vice chancellor with an appointment. Yes, ma'am, please come. What is it that you want? Sir, it is regarding the workshop we are going to organize. So HOD to the vice chancellor or registrar will be using regarding because that is formal occasion. You and I are students and teachers. Sir, it's about that late submission of the assignment. Finish. So regarding, about, purchase, buy. Go for the simpler words and like that. Yes. Now, a few more questions. You have to return those slips because based on these slips, later you will be talking about yourselves. A few questions, please.
So, what is a great memory of your childhood? Childhood memory.
Childhood memory. Of course, you know that quite a few will be there, but the most painful memory was.
So, no, I'm not talking about painful. It's it's for you happy.
Both I can tell you, but always the painful memories will last longer. Happy memories may fade off. Painful memories stay. As I told you, back in my school days, first of all, though we belong to a farming community and say farming and all this, we were highly educated. My grand uncle, that is my mother's uncle, was an English teacher in British India. Number one generation. Number two, my uncle himself was an English teacher in Free India. My uncle was an English teacher in Free India. Then the third generation. I also became an English teacher in Free India. My daughter also is an English teacher and trainer. Now I have a ninth standard boy at home, my daughter's son. He also started teaching English. He reads a lot. Dostoevsky and so many other great works, things which I haven't read. Reading is in the family. Okay, now what I mean to say is that at school, mathematics class, from my village, quite a few poor children, some of them belonging to carpenter's family. Those children, in the maths class, the teacher may be writing some on the board, okay, in class 5 or like that. Somebody bought, say, this thing for, say, this much of money, somebody bought, say, 20 cows, and how much should be? Before the teacher finished writing on the board, these 4 children from the carpentry family would be running to the table with the correct answers. Because carpentry is there in their blood, carpentry is calculation. They were quicker than the maths teacher, faster than the maths teacher. Those 4 stood always first, 100 out of 100, whether it was class test or say quarterly exam, half yearly exam, or say end of the year exam, always. After a few hours, English class, they were the worst. They were always laughed at. Other students always laughed at them. Always they sat gloomily without raising their heads, trying to escape the teacher's notice. Still the teacher used to catch that people and ask them. Their answers were never right. They were always humiliated in the class. This brought me to this profession. Stop it. When I say stop it, that person should understand. I should not single out. This later made me think of why this language of opportunity, English, even now hasn't reached after 3 generations. As I told you, my 2.5-year-old speaks a little English, a little Malayalam too. My 15-year-old reads great novels in English. But my friends, those carpenters' grandchildren, are yet to get a good job through English, still waiting. They have made money, of course. They have new houses, everything. But they haven't got a good job. In Kerala, government jobs are much sought of. People usually prefer government jobs. And those children from the carpenter's family, 3rd generation, they are yet to get a good position like my children and like my grandchildren. This still worries me. Excellent in maths, better than the maths teacher. But English is the language of opportunity. You may have your commerce really good. You may have your computer science really good. You may have your other things good. But your English communication skills, that is what draws you backwards. I am not for English. I am not supporting English. But the fact is that to get a good position, English is a must. The interview board is there. 3 members are sitting there. I'll conclude. Recently in Bangalore, there was an interview, post-COVID interview, selecting IT professions. Quite a few of my students from Chennai and somewhere else were there. I'll tell you what happened. The interview was scheduled for 10 o'clock. All of them reached around 8:30, 9 o'clock. The foyer of the restaurant where the hotel where it was arranged, all of them were there with their folders and marked and bags and all those things. The receptionist came and announced, please be seated, please feel comfortable. The interview will start sharp at 10 as announced. So all the young boys and girls who had their B.Tech and all those things, they were ready. Some of them were moving round and round and making friends and shaking hands and talking and talking loudly. Whereas a few boys were sitting in different corners, clutching their folders, marklets, everything, without interacting with anybody. One sitting there, the other sitting there. Whereas quite a few others were drinking water in there, newspapers and magazines here, coffee is there. Around 10 o'clock, the lady appears and says, sorry, the MD is at a meeting, will be back only by 11 o'clock. Please relax. Please make use of these things. If anyone needs any other things, please come to that counter. I am there. Though a little disappointed, people again continued. Those who were moving around and mingling with others and speaking, etc., they went on like that. Those who were sitting, touching their folders and in isolation, they remained as such. Around 11 o'clock again, the lady came and said, sorry, the MD got an urgent message from the headquarters and we are, he is flying. The interview is postponed. We will let you know the exact date. Please collect your tea and hotel expenses, everything from that counter. You will be informed of the next meeting, scheduled meeting. Fine. Right. About a month passed. Kumar, who was sitting alone somewhere there, who didn't mingle even with his own classmates, girls and boys, they were there. Kumar had 92%. In the examinations, he always stood first. And he was quite sure that he would be selected. After a month or so, Kumar somehow called one of his classmates, a girl, Sushma, what did you get the intimation for the interview? Which interview? No, the one cancelled at Bangalore, that hotel. Hey, Kumar, where are you now? I am in my village. So you didn't get any intimation? No. Sushma, where are you now? I am in Pune. Hamid is with me. Harsh is with me. 6 of us are in Pune. 4 of us are in Trivandrum. I think 3 are in Mumbai. We all are under training. Hey, when were you selected? 2 weeks. The training started. You didn't get any memo? No. I thought they would be calling for the second time. It was cancelled. Yes. What happened? Selection was over. Selection was over. Who selected? Who selected the candidates? Do they want your mark sheets? You sent all those things online. They verified everything. Now you are sitting there clutching your printed copy of the certificates. Why did they call you for interview? After investing 100 crore in an industry, they wanted people to work in the field or say in the office who have good communication skills. 2 or 3 people, including one communication specialist or language specialist, maybe like me, either in 3 different places or in some other rooms, have been observing your behavior in that auditorium. Those who have been going pleasantly and shaking hands and making new friends and exchanging and boldly going and say having a cup of tea from that part and say sitting and picking an English magazine and reading. Those who are relaxed and communicating with others, they were picked. 68%, 72%, 71%, but the 92% wala, they have invested 1 crore rupee. Next year they have to make it to 150 crore. Next year they have to make it 200 crore. They don't want your mark list. The validity of your mark list ends with IPS. Nowhere it is utmost respect to IPS. Any university, IIT, IISc, the validity of your certificate ends the moment you walk out of the gate of that institution. The rest is your communication skills. Because these certificates, they already, they went through. This man has done this. So, this is the interview that is waiting for you. For us, for our generation, 3 people will be sitting there, then I will be going there, shivering and say trembling. I will be presenting my mark list and all those things. They will be asking some foolish questions. I will be answering some other foolish things. And by the way, then they will be, okay, get it. The interview that you are going to face is like this. Maybe while you are in the market, responding to a phone call from the employer, finish. 10 minutes of your telephone talk decides whether you are in or out. Communication skills. Thank you very much.